on the theology of the body. So, ito yun. Theology of the body refers, first of all, to this 129 Wednesday ordinary homilies that is delivered in Rome. Imagine, 129 Wednesdays delivered in the course of 4 years. Kaya, ito naman, it was delivered this from September 5, 1979, just a year, barely a year after he became Pope in October 16, 1978, up to November 28, 1954. I was so fortunate because I went to Rome in 1983. So when I was there, ongoing ko itong series na ito, so that really got also my attention, that really started my interest in the teachings of Pope John Paul II. So much so that I wrote my doctoral thesis on the philosophy of Pope John Paul II. And ever since, I've been trying to follow his writings, I've been trying to follow his teachings as the Holy Father. Now, this was, as I mentioned, the first major catechetical project of his pontificate. At the time, people did not know what to make of it. No? It was really so new. It was really so novel. And people did not, even in the States, it's only now that people, theologians, philosophers, have begun really to dig into this rich mine of theological and philosophical reflections given by John Paul II way back 20 years ago. Way back 20 years ago. You know, in the Philippines, nowadays, not all priests are aware of this. And unfortunately, not even bishops, not even all the bishops are aware of this theology of the Pope John Paul II. Kasi tayo naman dito, kung ano yung path sa States, saka tayo sumusunod. But that's a fact, no? That's a fact even now, 20 years after. No? That many, even people engaged in family life ministry, are unaware of this. In fact, this coming Thursday, I'm going to Palawan. I'm going to give a talk on this theology of the body to the priests of Palawan, to the seminaries of Palawan coming Friday. The family life ministry of our diocese has also invited me to give them a series of talks on the theology of the body. But fine, it's about time, I think, that we get to know these rich reflections given us by the Holy Father. Okay? Now, if you care to know, if you want to go through the sources themselves, where can we find these addresses? Well, there's a book published by St. Paul's Publication entitled Theology of the Body, Human Love in the Divine Plan. It is a compilation of these 129 addresses. I think inasali Montero sa copy. Montero copy. Sinali yung kanyang copy, kasi basa si Ate Sally. But you can also check the WTN's library. You can download the whole thing from the WTN actually, for free. You can download the whole thing. I've downloaded the whole thing from WTN, shared it with my students in Don Bosco, and they all have copies of it. Kasi otherwise, you'll have to order the book from Amazon.com. You can download the whole thing for free sa WTN. Okay? Now, recently, there is a book that came out entitled Theology of the Body, Parish Edition. Parish Edition. It's specifically published for parish use and parish purposes. Ganun naman kasi sa States. Yan ang maganda sa States kasi the availability of resources, the availability of these materials. May pambili ka. Dito kasi sa atin, minsan St. Paul's, wala kang mapulot sa St. Paul's, yung mga Lubina, mga Rosario. Mga madre kasi, mga kurikot. Gusto ka nila kasi yung begin right away. Tapos ito naman, mga sell books of substance. Dahil pa sila ng power books. You know, last week I was able to buy 2 of the works of then Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger from Power Books. Books that we can never find in St. Paul. Because St. Paul will never order them. Kasi mahal. Kasi tapos yung mga madre na walang lugi sila. Ano mga madre sa lating gano'n? Okay. You better check that I'm going to go again. Okay. What is nice about this theology of body is this. Here in the theology of body, the Pope offers the church and the world a very rich, biblical reflection on the meaning of the human body, on the meaning of our human embodiment as male and female, as it concerns human sexuality and marriage. Have you ever thought, why is it that God made us male and female? Ito man ay, hindi ba naisip to? Pag sa mundo, lahat ng kalalakihan, it doesn't make sense, di ba? Pag lahat tayo lalaki, it doesn't make sense also pag sa mundo, lahat ng babae, walang lalaki. It doesn't make sense. Male and female only make sense if they are two together. Have you ever thought about that? Male and female, huh? God created us in His image. Male and female created us. Hindi sabi ng Genesis, male and female and homosexual created us in His image and likeness. Male and female. But, kaya ito po, once again, ito Genesis chapter 1 and 2, we always read that, we always hear that read in our Sunday liturgy. But sometimes, the Pope was able to really go deep into the text and really was able to discover a lot of beautiful insights, nugget and insights that help us understand what God is teaching us there in a deeper way, in a more profound way. I was disturbed by the results of the surveys that we have conducted not only here in our parish, but also in some other parishes, in preparation for our Diocesan Pastoral Assembly this coming February. One of the main concerns there, precisely as some of you already know, are the dysfunctional relationships that exist in our families today. Dysfunctional relationships that are due to several factors. One, of course, is lack of preparation for marriage, and also lack of the proper view of human sexuality and even marriage itself on the part of people entering married life. So, it's very important that we go back to this and listen to the Holy Father, who will guide us to really go deep into the text of Genesis and really discover the beauty of our human embodiment as male and female, and seeing it, God's plan for us, for the meaning of our lives, and for our own well-being and happiness. Kaya ito sabi ni George Beagle. George Beagle is the famous author who has written the book, Witness to Hope. Pope John Paul II, Witness to Hope. By far still considered to be the best biographical book written on Pope John Paul II. Sabi ni George Beagle, ito sabi niya, this theology of the body of Pope John Paul II is a kind of a theological time bomb that is set to go off with dramatic consequences, perhaps in the 21st century. And we are already now in the 21st century. Sooner or later, this will really surface, and it will really constitute, sabi ni George Beagle, a counter-sexual revolution in our world and in our church. You know the sexual revolution of the 1960s. We were fortunate to be growing up during the 60s. And we were fortunate to be growing up during the years as our permeated the result of the sexual revolution. But you know also the pains that the sexual revolution of the 60s have brought about. We are reaping now the adverse